The Babadook is a 2014 Australian horror film written and directed by Jennifer Kent. It stars Essie Davis as a single mother named Amelia, who struggles to raise her troubled son, Samuel, Noah Wiseman, after the death of her husband. The film received critical acclaim for its powerful performances, suspenseful atmosphere, and thought-provoking exploration of grief, mental illness, and the bond between mother and child. The movie opens with Amelia reading a bedtime story to Samuel. The story is about a monster called the Babadook, a creature that terrorizes its victims and eventually possesses them. Samuel becomes convinced that the Babadook is real and begins to behave erratically, leading Amelia to believe that he has behavioral issues. However, as strange occurrences start happening in their home, Amelia begins to suspect that the Babadook might be more than just a figment of Samuel's imagination. One of the film's strengths is its central performance by Essie Davis as Amelia. She portrays a woman struggling to cope with the loss of her husband while also trying to be a good mother to her troubled son. Davis's performance is powerful and convincing, capturing the character's grief, anxiety, and frustration. Her chemistry with Noah Wiseman, who plays Samuel, is also excellent, as the two actors create a believable and touching mother-son relationship. The movie's themes of grief and mental illness are explored in a subtle and nuanced manner, making them all the more effective. Amelia's grief is palpable throughout the film, and it is clear that her husband's death has left a significant impact on her and her son. Samuel's behavior is also portrayed in a sympathetic light, with the film suggesting that his actions are a result of trauma and a lack of understanding from those around him. The Babadook serves as a metaphor for the family's internal struggles, representing their fears, anxieties, and repressed emotions. The Babadook itself is a terrifying and mysterious creature, with its appearance and actions both contributing to the film's sense of dread. The Babadook is initially introduced through a storybook that Samuel finds in his room, and the illustrations in the book are disturbing and unsettling. As the film progresses, the Babadook's presence becomes more prominent, with its shadowy figure and eerie noises creating a sense of foreboding. The movie's suspenseful atmosphere is expertly crafted, with director Jennifer Kent using visual cues and sound design to create tension and unease. The film's slow burn pacing allows the tension to build gradually, leading to a final act that is both terrifying and emotionally cathartic. The climax of the film is particularly effective, as Amelia confronts the Babadook and faces her own inner demons. The Babadook is a film that explores the complex relationship between a mother and her son, as they both struggle with grief, trauma, and mental illness. The film is set in a bleak, gray landscape that mirrors the emotional turmoil of the characters. The opening scene is a montage that shows Amelia and her son Samuel trying to go about their daily lives, but the weight of their shared grief is evident in every frame. Amelia is a single mother who lost her husband in a car accident while she was pregnant with Samuel. Her life is a constant struggle as she tries to balance work and parenting while dealing with the trauma of her husband's death. Samuel is a troubled child who is prone to violent outbursts and has a difficult time fitting in at school. He is obsessed with monsters and has created his own weapons to protect himself from them. Samuel's erratic behavior puts a strain on his relationship with his mother, who struggles to understand him and help him. The Babadook is introduced as a children's storybook that Samuel finds on his shelf. The book is a disturbing and unsettling depiction of a monster that preys on its victims and eventually possesses them. As Samuel becomes increasingly convinced that the Babadook is real, Amelia dismisses his fears as the product of an overactive imagination. However, as strange occurrences start happening in their home, Amelia begins to suspect that there might be something more to Samuel's claims. One of the most impressive aspects of the Babadook is the way it uses horror as a means of exploring complex psychological themes. The Babadook is not just a monster, but a metaphor for the internal struggles of the characters. The film suggests that the Babadook represents Amelia's grief and trauma, as well as Samuel's fear and confusion. The Babadook is a manifestation of the darkness that lurks within the characters, and the film uses it as a means of exploring their inner demons. The Babadook is also a film that is deeply rooted in the horror genre. The film's use of sound and imagery is particularly effective in creating a sense of dread and suspense. The Babadook's first appearance in the film is through the book, which is filled with eerie illustrations that hint at the creature's true nature. The Babadook's presence in the film is also marked by strange noises and shadows, which create a sense of unease and uncertainty. The film's climax is particularly effective in combining horror with emotional catharsis. Amelia is forced to confront the Babadook and her own inner demons in a tense and terrifying sequence that is both satisfying and emotionally resonant. The film's resolution suggests that Amelia and Samuel have come to a place of understanding and acceptance, as they are able to confront their shared trauma and move forward together. In addition to its horror elements, The Babadook is also a film that explores the complex dynamics of motherhood. The film suggests that Amelia's love for Samuel is what ultimately saves her from the Babadook's grasp, as her maternal instincts allow her to protect her son and face her fears. The film also portrays Samuel's behavior in a sympathetic light, suggesting that his struggles are the result of trauma and a lack of understanding from those around him. The Babadook is a film that succeeds on multiple levels. Its use of horror to explore complex psychological themes is both effective and thought-provoking. The film's performances, particularly by Essie Davis as Amelia, are powerful and nuanced. The film's suspenseful atmosphere and visual style are expertly crafted, creating a sense of unease and foreboding. The Babadook is a standout entry in the horror genre, and a film that will stay with viewers long after the credits roll. In addition to its horror elements, The Babadook also explores themes of motherhood and the bond between parent and child. The film suggests that Amelia's love for Samuel is what ultimately saves her from the Babadook's grasp, as her maternal instinct and protective nature allow her to overcome her fears and confront the creature head-on. Overall, The Babadook is a masterful horror film that delivers on both scares and emotional depth. Its powerful performances, suspenseful atmosphere, and exploration of complex themes make it a standout entry in the horror genre. Jennifer Kent's direction is confident and assured, and the film's impact is felt long after the credits roll. The Babadook is a must-see for fans of psychological horror, and it solidifies Jennifer Kent's status as a filmmaker to watch in the years to come. Thanks. Subscribe to YouTube and Vocal Stories.